Hey everybody, Mrs. Bianchi here. We're looking at Math Unit 1, Match the Polygon with the Expression, and I'm not going to lie, this assignment's a little tricky. I've already added one video, but some of you may be able to look at a polygon and anticipate how to decompose it into its shapes and recognize some things about it. So I want to talk to you about that first before you approach, because what you need to do is you're going to need to, one approach is to simplify each of these expressions and come up with that one number and then find which polygons in the lineup here have the same thing. But I want to show you another approach as well. So these are the expressions, and I want to talk to you about the ones that have subtraction signs and the ones that have addition signs. So if you take a close look, A has a subtraction sign, so does F, and so does G. Now, as you're going through the choices, we talked in class about how subtraction means that there's like a cutout that you're going to be removing. So this is a potential one that we could use that strategy. This one right here, number 3. We could find the area of the rectangle and then subtract out the area of the triangle. Another one that I would probably use the trapezoid formula, but you could, think of this as a rectangle and subtract out the two triangles. This one, you could think of this as a rectangle and subtract out this triangle. So actually, let's take a look at that one. Let me find it on my lineup here in my Smart Notebook file. All right, here it is. So if we were going to find the area of the rectangle, the outside rectangle, so let me trace that for you so you can see what I'm talking about. This rectangle, what would the dimensions of that be? Going this way, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And going this way, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 6 by 4 rectangle. We would be multiplying those two numbers together to find the area of that rectangle, would we not? Now, you would want to look in the lineup of the expressions to see if you find 4 times 6 being multiplied with something. And if you do, that's clue number 1, that might match up with number 5. Now, we're going to be subtracting from that the area of the triangle. So if we just trace this triangle for a second and think about the dimensions of that, remember, triangle is area equals half of the base times the height. And if we substitute in the values here, we're talking about half. If we use this as the base, remember the base and the height have to be perpendicular to each other. So if we're going to use this as the base, 1, 2, 3, 4, going that way, and going up, it's 1, 2, 3. So the base would be 4, and the height would be 3. And remember, we're subtracting that from 4 times 6. Now, what we could do is we could kind of look at the lineup here of choices to see if there's anything that matches that idea. So I see the 4 times 6 here, and then I see the triangle. So this is the rectangle that we were looking at, and this is the triangle being subtracted out from the rectangle. Now, there is another way that you could approach this, and you would still get the same. If you simplified this, right, you would get 24 here. You would take, this would be 12, half of 12 would be 6, and you would do 24 minus 6 and get the area of the figure. Now, that's not the only way you could find the area of this figure. Some of you might look at it as two trapezoids. So we have a trapezoid here, and we have a trapezoid over here that are equal and congruent. Now, I'm not sure if you knew this, but if you take a trapezoid and you flip it, see if I can rotate this thing around, and then see if I can flip it. See, then you're making a rectangle out of that, right? Am I not? So one approach is you could just, so this is not there anymore. I moved it over here. Is we could find the area of this rectangle. Now, how would I do that, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going that way. And remember, this is the side that corresponded with this. So that's 1, 2, 3 more. So really, we're talking about 9. If we add those two lines together, this red line and the blue line, it's going to give us 9. And we can see that this is 2, right? So another approach is to just do 9 times 2 and get the answer that way. Now, it is going to equal 18. I'm just going to tell you that. And there are two shapes that do have 18 as their simplified version of each expression. So you will get credit regardless of which one you pick. However, I'm recommending that for number 5 that you pick this expression because this is the one that matches the idea of a cutout. Although the other expression does also equal 18, so I can't say that that's not right because if you get 18, you get 18. But just be advised, there's only 2 in the whole lineup of all the choices. I want to say there's 9 questions that will result in an area of 18. All the other ones are going to give you some other value. All right, hopefully you found this video helpful.